Big round of applause for Lizzy.
Hi, I'm Lizzy, and I'm very happy to be here tonight to entertain you. And if anybody knows who I am, they know I look a little different. But I'm still have that wild style. And do you like the way I look? Well, I think I'm hot and sexy. And I want to tell you, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I'm a New York City gal. Excuse me, the air in New York City is terrible. But Lizzy likes her men domestic and imported. And Lizzy is all natural, not artificial. And Lizzy likes diamonds, flowers, and nuts. Yes. And I want to tell you, I went on a diet for 2 weeks, and all I lost was 2 weeks. And I want to tell you the definition of indecent. And that is, if it's long enough and hard enough and it goes in far enough, it's indecent. And the definition of agony is a one-armed man who's hanging off the cliff with itchy balls. You didn't understand that? He was hanging off the cliff with itchy balls. You know? Okay, well anyway, I worked in an office, and I was standing by the water cooler, and a man came up to me and said, "I have beautiful hair." So with that, I rushed into my boss's office, and I said to him, "I was just sexually harassed." And the boss said to me, "What did he say?" And I said, the man said I had beautiful hair. So to my boss, I said, "What's wrong with that?" I said, "But he's a midget." Now, I just want to tell you, just terrible. And then, did you hear about this single woman? They come home and they go to bed, and then they go to the fridge. The married women go to the bed first, and then they go to the fridge. I think I screwed that joke, but it's okay. Anyway, and Lizzy is a very, very quiet woman. She doesn't say much, but she gives you a lot of action, you know. and on our honeymoon, I met my husband. Oh, when I met my husband, he was telling his friend his penis joke, you know? But it was too long, just too long. And that's how I met him. And then we got married, and we were on our honeymoon, and while we're driving to the Fontainebleau Hotel, he put his hand on my knee, and I said, you know, honey, we're married now. You can go a little further. So he drove to Key West. And he's such a good man. He always buys me things. So he went out on a honeymoon, and he bought me a 3 set of luggage. And you know what that was? 3 shopping bags. And then he comes back, and he bought me a ring, a 10-carat ring, with 10 carats glued onto the ring. And I just didn't, he's so good, you know? I just didn't know what to do with him. And then Lizzy says, you know what Lizzy said? Do you know what Lizzy said? Lizzy said, it isn't what I do, but how I do it. It isn't what I say, but how I say it. And it's how I look when I say it and I do it. That's what Lizzy says, you know? Because she's a New York City gal. And now, I have to tell you, my husband came over to me the other night, and he said to me, I'd like to be cremated. So I said, how about Thursday? And then he comes over to me a little later, and he says, I'd like to die in bed. I said, again? And do you know where men come from? Men come from assholes. And do you know what they call a man? Do you know what he call a man? A pain in the ass. And I just want to tell you that as my closing joke, do you know that sex is like a bank account? You put it in, you take it out, and you lose interest.
Lizzy, ladies and gentlemen. Lizzy. Return. And she's leaving. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Where else would you see this kind of entertainment? But only at the Boca Black Box Theater.